Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fifth lecture of our online lecture series. This is Juma Ghosh, curator at Nehru Science Center in Mumbai. We are holding this week-long lecture series on the occasion of International Women's Day 2021, where we are trying to help the students to explore different career opportunities in future if they choose to work at the frontiers of science. Today's speaker, Dr. Chandana Bhattacharya, will be talking about the future opportunities for Indian girl students in FAIR project. Let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Bhattacharya. Dr. Bhattacharya, head of the Experimental Nuclear Physics Division at the Variable Energy Cyclotron Center, Kolkata, is a reputed experimental nuclear physicist who has been actively involved in experimental nuclear physics research activity and R&D also. Dr. Bhattacharya did her MSc from Benares Hindu University and joined Department of Atomic Energy in the year 1985. She did her PhD from Calcutta University. Under her leadership, her group has successfully performed several frontline experiments of contemporary interest using exclusively the Indian accelerators and developed novel experimental facilities at VSCC Kolkata. She has worked as a visiting scientist in several international laboratories in different parts across the world. Dr. Bhattacharya is also PI from India for one experiment named as Modular Neutron Time of Flight Spectrometer at FAIR, Germany. With these words, I'd like to thank Dr. Bhattacharya for accepting our invitation for this lecture, and I'd like to hand over the mic to her.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Juma, Dr. Juma Ghosh for inviting me to present this talk in this audience and giving this nice introduction. So I will now share my talk and then I will start my presentation. Okay.
Welcome to Unified Conferencing.
Okay. Thank you. Let me start my talk. First of all, I would like to present the facility of antiproton and ion research facility where nuclear structure and astrophysics research collaboration. We are participating in nuclear structure and astrophysics research collaboration for decay spectroscopic experiment at FAIR. So to start with, mainly I will go in this fashion. First, I will start what is nucleus, because this is for the student. So I am starting from very basic things. So first I will start what is nucleus, then what is nuclear physics, what we do in nuclear physics, and how our participation in FAIR. So this way I will proceed. So let me start. So you know that after the discovery of the nucleus by Rutherford experiment, atom consists of nucleus and electrons are revolving like it. So atom is very densely packed inside the a nucleus is densely packed inside the atom, and the element is determined by number of protons, and nucleus contains most of the nucleus contains more than 99.9% of the mass of an atom. So nucleus consists of proton and neutron, and these proton are positively charged and electrons have negatively charged. So now, how to define a nucleus? We define the nucleus in this following fashion. So A is the mass number and Z is the atomic number and N is the neutron number. So A is Z plus N. For example, carbon nucleus we define, it consists of 12 nucleons, whereas there are 6 protons and 6 neutrons. And isotopes, we define different isotopes, and an element have different number of neutrons in their nucleus and have different mass number. For example, carbon has 2 isotopes, one is carbon 12, another is carbon 14. So they have same atomic number, but they have different neutron numbers and different mass number. Isobars are atoms of 2 different elements with the same number of nucleons, but different number of protons and neutrons. For example, calcium and argon both have atomic, the mass number is 40, but the atomic number they have 20 and 18, and neutron number they have 20 and 22, but the total mass number is 40. They are called isobar. And isotone, atoms of different elements with the same number of neutrons but a different number of protons and different mass. For example, carbon and oxygen, carbon 14 and oxygen 16, both have got 8 neutrons. So they are called isotones. So with this definition, let me go to the nuclear landscape, nuclear chart. If you plot neutron number versus the Z of the nucleus, this is called the Segre chart. Each row is a distinct chemical element. Stable isotopes are marked by the black dark squares. The naturally occurring nuclei with longest lifetime are said to occupy this valley of stability. Most stable atomic nuclei are made up of roughly equal number of protons and neutrons. But the nucleus away from this beta stability line are unstable and they decay. What are the decay modes? There are 2 decay modes. One is alpha decay and another is beta decay. In alpha decay, parent nucleus loses one alpha particle and daughters have the mass number A-4 and atomic number Z-2. And in case of beta minus decay, parent nucleus decay in such a fashion, you will get a new nucleus with a atomic number Z+1. Okay, but the thing is, when this beta and alpha decay are occurring, nucleus does not remain in its ground state. It goes in its excited state and it decays to its ground state by emitting gamma ray. So neutron rich nuclei. These are those nuclei which are right of this valley of stability line, and proton rich nuclei, these are the nucleus which are in the left of the valley of stability of the nucleus. The drip line nucleus, these dotted lines shows the limit of particle stability. That is, on these lines, one proton or the neutron separation energy becomes 0, and beyond these limits, the nuclei are no longer bound. So another things I wanted to say, that there are already 300 stable nuclei and 3000 nuclei have been discovered, but prediction is around 6,000 stable possible existing nuclei, but these limits are unknown. So we have to know these nuclei, how many nuclei we can get. So another decay mode, for as we go away from the beta stability line, the neutrons we proceed towards neutron rich nuclei. Thus separation energy of neutron becomes very small, and the large Q beta decay energy for the beta A often leads to the population of unbound state in the daughter nucleus, and it decays as a result of, instead of beta decay, it will first emit neutron and then it will decay by beta emission. So we get beta delayed neutron emission. So with this introduction, let me show how the size of the particle is. As we go inside the nucleus, the size become smaller and smaller. But to probe these things, we have to do experiments, scattering experiment with more energetic beams, and we have to, so we need accelerators which can probe this. We need accelerators with higher and higher energy to probe this particle, and we have to detect the outcome of this particle, and then we analyze this data and we infer some results. So at our center, in India, not in our center, in India, we have these accelerators. Using these accelerators, we study the properties of nucleus around the stable nucleus. Okay, so this is the K130 cyclotron at our center, and K500 superconducting cyclotron, which is coming at our center, which is installed and will deliver beam soon. So, and these are two accelerators. One is at IUSC New Delhi, and another is BRCTF electron facility. So, using this accelerator, we have done several experiments. So what kind of experiment we have done? Let me show some things, like elastic scattering. This is the beam coming, and this is inelastic and diplastic scattering, then fusion evaporation, and then fission type of experiment. So with the stable ion beam, we are still doing some experiments, but exotic nuclei, these nuclei which are away from the beta stability line, so such nuclei exhibit unusual phenomena and provide an extreme test for model for nuclear structure. So, but the thing is, to produce these exotic nuclei, production of exotic nuclei is very difficult. Why? Because it is they are produced in very low cross section, and overwhelming production of unwanted species in the same nuclear reaction. And since they are not stable, very short half-lives of the nuclei of interest. So what are the requirement to get this nucleus as a beam? You have to have high production rate. In order to achieve the highest production rate of particular nucleus, the beam target combination as well as the beam energy have to be optimized. Efficient, it should be efficient. Means after the production, you have to collect this thing as efficiently as possible, and it should be fast enough. As one is dealing with short half-life exotic nuclei, the losses due to radioactive decay between the moment of production and arrival of the experimental setup should be kept to a minimum, and you have to select the beam in presence of many nucleus. So there are two ways in which these radioactive ion beams are produced. One is isotope separator online method, where primary beam from the accelerator hits a thick target, and then products is ionized in ion source and then separated, and then again it has to be accelerated using another post accelerator. Another important method is projectile fragment separator method. Here primary beam hits in a thin target, and different products are produced and they are separated using a mass separator, and they have the beam like velocity, and then that can be used as a beam. There is no requirement of the post accelerator. So worldwide, many facilities have in last 25 years, many facilities have been developed to study these exotic nuclei. So after using this exotic after doing this study with exotic beam, so many interesting features have come out. So first of all, experiment with radioactive beam have provided to study the exotic nuclei with extreme n by z ratio. Unexpected behavior has been seen. Classical shell closure disappear. New magic numbers have been found. So, for example, new effects near the drip line, halo nucleus has been seen. So, what is halo nucleus? As you said, that nucleus is very compact things, and it should be compactly inside the atom. But in case of some of the nucleus, radioactive nuclei like lithium 11 and beryllium 11, it has been found that matter RMS radius increases as a function of mass number. Lithium 11 isotope has a much larger radius than the other nucleus, which given the proof for the observation of halos in lithium. So another thing is the experimental signature of shell. How so? As you know, that some of the magic numbers for some of the number they are very tightly bound, and for this nucleus, the first high energy or the first excited state. So, for example, calcium 40, there are 20 proton and 20 neutron, calcium 40 nucleus. So you see the excitation energy is very large. However, as we go to the magnesium nucleus, which contains 20 neutrons, so you see the disappearance of this fast accelerated state is not so high. So this shows that the shell structure, as you go away from towards the stability line, the new cell structure come up. So very interesting. Many other results have been seen. I am not going into the details. So the study of exotic nuclei is a new branch of physics, which will we don't know what will happen as we go away towards the stability line. So it will give enough opportunity to us to get new information, and it will totally change our knowledge, whatever we have gained using the study of stable nucleus. So another thing is exotic nuclei and nuclear astrophysics. Nuclei of elements heavier than hydrogen up to iron were formed inside the star. Heavy elements beyond iron are mainly produced by the competition between neutron capture and beta decay. So huge number of neutrons, which neutron-rich nuclei are produced in supernova explosion, neutron stars, merger like astronomical events. So this will, by studying these exotic nuclei, we will get input from nuclear physics, the mass, neutron separation energy, reaction Q value, beta decay half-life, beta delayed neutron emission probability, neutron capture cross-section, alpha decay half-life, fission parameters, fission barrier, beta delayed fission probability, neutron-induced fission cross-section. All this information will be highly input, will provide input for nuclear astrophysical calculations. So with this, you see that study of exotic nuclei is a very rich field, particularly neutron-rich nuclei is very exotic. It is a very rich field. So we will get update our knowledge by studying this nucleus. So facility facility for antiproton and ion resistance. So FAIR is currently under construction as an international facility at the campus of GSI, Germany. FAIR will be one of the largest and most complex accelerator facility in the world. The FAIR accelerator facility will have the unique ability to provide particle beams of all chemical elements as well as antiproton. The particle will be accelerated to almost speed of light in FAIR accelerator facility and made available for scientific experiment. FAIR will generate particle beams of previously unparalleled intensity and quality. So what is the main things? FAIR, so you will get beam from proton to uranium, and you can get secondary beam of rare isotopes in the energy range 1 to 2 GeV and antiproton up to 30 GeV. So what is the characteristic? So high intensity beam 1,000 times for primary heavy ion beam, 10,000 times for radioactive beams, and 100 times for anti-proton beam. So about 2,500 scientists and engineers from different countries are involved in developing this facility. So the 4 physics pillars where the people will work. One is CBM, relativistic nuclear collision studies, where compressed baryonic matter will be studied. APPA is atomic plasma physics and application, NuSTAR, nuclear structure, astrophysics and reaction, and PANDA, antiproton annihilation and tungsten. So we are mainly involved in studies on nuclear structure, astrophysics and reaction. So which we provide using radioactive ion beam. So NuSTAR experiment, what will look, FAIR will provide unique access to many nuclei relevant in explosive nucleosynthesis. Quest for the limits of existence. We can study halo, free-body correlation, changing shell structure for away from stability, skin, new collective modes, nuclear matter, neutron stars, and origin of the elements. These are the main things which will be studied in FAIR physics. So actually, NuSTAR experiment at NuSTAR experimental facility at FAIR. So this is the exotic radioactive beam formed. So mostly radioactive beam will be formed by fragmentation, and these fragments will. This is the production target, and this will be separated using a super FRS fragment separator, and then this will be transported to different experimental halls. And so there are 4 branches. One is low energy branch, high energy branch, ring branch, and so we will do our experiment in low energy branch. What type of experiment we will do? Decay spectroscopy experiment. What will happen? The selected nuclei from the super FRS will be implanted in the sensitive detector at the focal plane where the beta decay will take place, and the decay properties of very neutron-rich nuclei will be studied. Excited state of daughter nuclei, beta decay half-life, and delayed neutron emission probability will be extracted by measuring neutron, beta and gamma simultaneously. So India is participating within the NuSTAR collaboration. Indian scientists are actively involved in the development of DSPEC germanium array spectrometer, which is known as DEGAS, and I am involved in modular neutron spectrometer development and measurement of very short-lived nuclei using advanced trapping system. So what is modular neutron time of flight spectrometer array. So modular neutron time of spectrometer array will be used to determine the energy spectra and emission probability of beta delayed neutron with high resolution. Neutron energy will be measured by time of flight technique. Start signal will be taken from this implanted silicon detector where the beta implanted detector where the and then neutron and gamma separation will be achieved by pulse discrimination technique. So this array will consist of only 100 detectors, and the size of this detector is 20 into 5 centimeter field BC501A liquid scintillator. So India will so mainly Spain and Finland, they are participating in these things, and out of 100 detectors, India will make 41 detectors. So what we do, we develop our detector at VECC. So these are the different steps for these are the different steps by which these detectors are fabricated. And these are the prototype detector modules for Monster have been already been fabricated at VECC, and they have been used in experiment at VECC. So this is the one campaign has been done at Finland in March 2019 for the measurement of beta delayed neutron spectra from arsenic 85 very neutron rich arsenic nucleus. So where I participated, and you see these are the neutron detectors. So when we will give our neutron detector, it will complete the array. So in the DGAS experiment, the main thrust is study of rare isotope, beta lifetime neutron branching ratio, level structure of power process of nuclei around n is equal to 126 nuclei. So this is the mostly the development is being done at TIFR, and these are the this is the structure of this DGAS spectra, and it will consist of 28 detector and shielded triple cluster germanium array. And this is the DGAS detector. Prototype has been developed at TIFR. So this is encapsulated HPG crystal in a cluster with electron cooling, and detector consists of 38 producible components, and it has been kept. It has to be kept in a very high vacuum, and signal processing electronics has to be developed, and imaging capability has been seen. So they are waiting for the fund from India Fair project for in-kind contract finalization. So various component of DGAS has been for the development prototype has been developed and tested. So another area where India is participating is the MAX at FAIR. So here for Q value measurement from the kinetic energy of the recoil nuclei of short-lived beta stable nuclei in pending ion trap. So mostly. So VECC is participating in this development. Member of MAT from India will participate in the experiment and contribute towards the development of ion detection facility. And will develop and provide the ion detector assembly necessary for PI phase imaging ion cyclotron resonance technique. So what happened? So FAIR will provide unique, to sum up, FAIR will provide unique opportunity to study constituent of nucleus and nucleons. The New Start facility with the Super FRS covers a wide range of topics concerning the investigation of exotic nuclei in the areas of nuclear structure, nuclear astrophysics, nuclear reactions, Newster will address fundamental question concerning the structure and dynamics of atomic nucleus as many body system, the nature of the effective nuclear-nuclear interaction, relevant components, isospin dependence, correlation, equation of state of nuclear matter, nuclear astrophysics, and origin of elements. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for the wonderful lecture. Now we will take the questions. The participants from Zoom, if you have any questions, then please put your questions in the chat and we will discuss. We have one question from Archita. She's asking, does FAIR also probes into the quark structure?
Yes, as I said, that depending upon, there are 4 pillars. So we are doing the nuclear structure and astrophysics part. And there are like CBM and Panda is there. So they will means CBM, Panda, and 4 pillars were there. No? So they will probe towards the structure of hadrons.
Well, I have a question. So, what's your planned timeline when those parts will be over?
Okay, so actually, timeline is changing. By 2025, we will be able to start our experiment, I think. But we have not yet received the fund. That is the main difficulties where we got started.
Okay, there is one question. Someone is asking that from an article he has read on FAIR, it says that this project would open up some new opportunities in the field of medical imaging, and it will enhance the capacity of batteries to store more power. Please throw some light on this.
Well, yes, it will be used in the application. APPA group will work on these application-oriented things, and they will also study the medical imaging part and all these things. APPA group.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, it seems that we don't have any more questions. Okay.
Okay.
Not Facebook. Okay, one has asked that what are the opportunities for students in this project?
Well, student can join in the project. They will they have to join in any of the institute or university, those who are involved in these things. So from there they can get their PhD done, and they will learn about the detector development, and they will know the physics of the particular field. If he or she joins in any of this field.
Okay, I think audience have no more questions. Okay. I would like to thank Dr. Chandana Bhattacharya again for this interaction and this lecture. We will look forward for future cooperation as well. And I'd like to thank all the participants for joining us and showing curiosity. We have another lecture at 4 p.m. So please don't forget to participate that as well. Okay, then we can end this meeting. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, thanks to everyone. Okay.